Greetings and salutations, this is Rick. I hope you're having a great day. Okay, I'm having a great day because I've managed to get hold of my mate's Oculus Rift again. He's gone away and he's let me babysit his laptop and his Oculus Rift. So I'm taking full advantage of it. Now, one of the programs I absolutely love on virtual reality is something called Google Maps VR. And it's now got Street View with it as well. What I'm hoping to do today is actually show you Google Maps VR, in virtual reality. Now, obviously, you're only going to get it in two-dimensional, on the flat screen. But I'll try to talk you through it and basically show you why it is I'm so amazed and fascinated by this particular program. Now, what I'm doing is I'm recording on the GoPro here. I'm also hoping to record everything that I see on the camera, through the headset on the laptop, and I'm hoping to mash the two together so that we end up with hopefully a workable video. So Google Earth VR is now set up and running. I do believe I'm recording. So look, yes I am. Right, so that's recording. So I'm going to leave that. I'm going to put the headset on, and then I'm going to talk you through everything, and hopefully you'll get a little taste of what it's all about. So let's give it a go. So, all right, we should be in business now. Click to start. Okay. Right then, so hopefully you're going to see what I'm seeing, and we are in a place called Ronda, Malaga, Spain. Now, as you can see, this is all three-dimensional. Now, to you on the screen, it's going to look all flat. But for me, I feel like kind of Superman hovering above the ground. Now, there is a setting actually in here which is fixed human scale. And if I turn that on, there we go. Instead of feeling like a model village, which it just did a minute ago, it now feels actually real. It feels in scale to me, which basically means when I fly along, it actually feels like I am flying like Superman. It's really hard to explain. You kind of have to experience it, but it's pretty awesome. So basically, think of like a flight simulator in 3D. You've got this. Now, if I move the stick up, I go up, and if I move the controller down, I go down. And basically, this is like Google Earth, but what they've done is in a lot of the places like like major towns and cities and things like that, they've actually augmented these flat photographs into three-dimensional structures. So I can literally go down into this street down here and actually land in among the houses. Now again, you're only going to see this like a computer game, but to me it's actually real. It's like I'm actually there. Now if I hold this little globe in front of me, it's actually telling me where I am, and if I bring it into my face, I actually go into street view, and I'm actually standing in the street. So although I'm in my living room at home, I'm actually standing in a Spanish street, and it honestly feels about like I'm there, about like, I don't know, about 80% there. Obviously it's a still photograph and everything's frozen. But this is the Google Street View. So if I press the little button on this arrow, I can actually move along, like so. And I can actually go along the street just like in Street View. And if I look around, I'm actually looking around as if I'm in the street. And it's all to my scale. It's just amazing. So it actually feels like I'm stood in this street. It's amazing. So let me take off. Now this is what I absolutely adore about Google VR. You can literally go anywhere in the world. Okay, so I'm going to literally take off, I'm going to hit the acceleration button, and I'm actually going to go up into orbit. I'm flying like Superman. Whoa! You can see all the mountains and everything. Right, you get to a certain height, you get to press this button, and that brings the so you're facing the planet. So I can like pull back on the joystick, and I'm zooming out of Spain. And there we go. So now, one place I did go to not so long ago was Monaco. So let's go and have a little tour of Monaco, or just a little look around. This is in the south of France. And this is where all the incredibly rich billionaires park their yachts. So we're now looking at a three-dimensional representation of a Monaco harbour. It won't let me go any closer, so I have to go in like this. So there is Monaco. Now I'm trying not to move my head around too much, because if I do, it gets a bit too much to view in 2D, if that makes any sense. But let's fly down into this harbour, and let me show you these, or this marina rather. But look, you can actually go onto the streets of Monaco. So if I can land on this street here, and if I bring this up to my face, there we go, I'm actually standing in the street, and everything's to scale. It literally feels like I'm stood here. Well, it feels like I'm stood on the roof of this car. So if I click the button to go forward, that'll actually take me forward. I can actually look out over the harbour, or if I take my head out of this bubble, boom, like that, I can actually fly over and actually go down into the harbour, or to the marina. Now it's getting a bit, the sun's getting a bit dim, so I need to move the sun. So let me just grab the sun and bring the sun up. There we go, that's lit everything up a bit better. And so basically I can fly this marina. Now see all these little boats here? Let's have a look at some of the bigger ones. Look at the size of some of these boats. They are phenomenal. I mean, look at the size of the cars compared to the boats. These are massive. You know, if you think you're doing well by owning a little boat like that, and then you look at these have got to be billionaire boats. You'd have to be more than a millionaire to own something like this. Let's just go up into orbit again. It really does feel like you're flying. It makes you feel a little, almost like a little godlike. It's just really strange. It's like you can go anywhere. So let's tilt the Earth up. Now, one of the places I've been spending a lot of time in is Japan. Now, if I grab the Earth and spin it around, there it is, there, right there. That's Japan. Okay. But there, you can literally go down to any basic street anywhere. So here we are. We're in just some typical little street in Japan. And if we go into Street View, boom, there we go. And I'm now standing in a Japanese street. A minute ago I was in Monaco, now I'm in Japan. This is awesome. Let's go and stand on the top of Mount Fuji. I think they've got a restaurant up there, or I think there's definitely a building of some description up there. If I can find it. Ah, there we go. So there's some sort of a structure here. Nope. Yeah, look, they've got a torii. Oops. Wow. As far as I'm aware, a torii or a torii, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, that marks a public right of way, is it? I think. So anyway, that's Japan. But I've actually spent quite a lot of time in Japan, because I find this place absolutely fascinating. Even though I'm stood up in my living room, it actually feels, you actually forget that you're standing in your living room, especially when you get into Street View. I mean, I don't know the name of this town here, but I'm just going to go into some tiny little backwater street here, typical little street. This is Yamanashi Prefecture. So if I just stand here and go into Street View, and I'm actually stood in the street. How cool is that? And look at that, one of those beautiful traditional Japanese houses there, with these amazing garden and well, not quite bonsai, are they? Sort of tapaya trees. And this is what I love about this Street View, is you actually get to see the real Japan. It's like everywhere you go there are these traditional style houses, and they're just absolutely, I'm totally in love with them. They're amazing. I mean, look at this garden. I mean, that must be a full-time job just to keep that garden as it is. It's absolutely amazing. It's like they're everywhere you go. You know, obviously you've got your sort of normal houses, but you've got, everywhere you go, you've got these traditional style houses as well, and they just look amazing. Actually, saying that, let's go and have a quick look. I want to show you something at Fukushima. S-H-I-M-A space D. Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. Right, I'm going to show you something now. This is actually quite sad. Obviously, this is Fukushima. This is the nuclear power station where they had the issues. Now, from here, everywhere you can see, all the way around for a 20-mile radius, every house pretty much is abandoned. It's really, really sad. And look, I can show you. Let's just let's go. Just pick this place down here. I'm just going to pick a place at random. Go here. Now they have sent the Google car around. So let's just go to this street here, and every house all the way along here is abandoned. Look at this house here, look. All of the gardens completely overgrown. Same here. Now you see this, oops, hang on, I'm getting tangled up in my lead. You see this everywhere, okay? Look, you've got a beautiful Japanese style house. Look at this, if I move forward a little bit. Oh no, it's probably better there. Right, you've got like a traditional style house in the back there. Absolutely gorgeous house. You've got another one sort of here, it's slightly more modern, in a state of collapse. Oops. Look, you've got these abandoned cars, practically brand new cars abandoned. You've got the driveways, they're all overgrown with, all been punched through with foliage and everything, and you've got these gates going across. It's absolutely tragic. It's such a shame. And everywhere you go, you've got these lovely houses just completely abandoned, everything overgrown. You know, all of the gardens are overgrown. If you go to other areas, there's like, especially the smaller roads. Let me find a smaller road. Let's try, yeah, one of these like little back roads here. I don't know if that's going to demonstrate for me. Yeah, look, all of the roads. Oh, it's not so bad here because it's a little bit more main. But there's a level crossing there. That's interesting. But a lot of these roads are all being encroached upon by all of the foliage. Look at that, there's a car there completely abandoned and the driveway is completely covered over in nature again. And all these cars everywhere, like abandoned business, abandoned cars, they've got foliage growing all around the cars. And all the driveway and tarmac and everything, all being punched through by nature. It's just so sad. Abandoned garage. These vending machines, they just, because I know they've got vending machines everywhere in Japan. I presume they've just been completely abandoned and forgotten about. Yeah, look, this is where nature is reclaiming the road. It just hasn't been had anything, you know, done with it, had any repairs or anything. But there we go. So that's Japan. Where else should we go? We can go wherever you want. Leaning Tower of Pisa. And there it is. So we're flying in. Woo! That is so cool. There it is. In full glorious 3D. Going to land on the ground here. And let's take a look in Google Maps, or Google Street View rather. There it is. Got a bit of a lean on it. Wow, look at that. I just stood in an Italian, bustling little Italian town. I've actually forgotten I'm stood in my living room. And it's a beautiful sunny day as well. How cool is that? Really is leaning. Do you reckon that'll actually topple over at some point, or have they reinforced it with stuff, sort of underpinned it? So, we'll have a quick look around the town while we're here. Let's go and have a look. Got some market stalls here. Oh, they're not market stalls, they're little umbrellas for the street cafes. Oh, I really fancy a pizza now. I might have pizza tonight. But this is so cool because you've got like this armchair. There's no reason why I'm standing up. I can actually do this sat in an armchair. Although it's kind of more fun standing up because you, especially when you're flying, because you sort of, I don't know, it just feels better. But I could quite easily sit in an armchair and do this. Oh, there's one of those street artists with the silver. But I can literally visit anywhere, and because it's in 3D, it actually feels like I am standing in the street. It's just amazing. It's so cool. Like I say, you're not going to get this. All you're going to get is this flat photograph, but through the virtual reality headset, it actually feels like reality, virtually. Hence the name. Fantastic. So there we go. I think I'm going to call that a day. You kind of get the idea. You can see why I'm so blooming fascinated by it. Oh, let's have a quick look at the river while we're here. Oh no, Venice. I want to go to Venice. Anyone want to go to Venice? I'm taking on a world tour at VENI, Venice, the metropolitan city of Venice, Italy. Let's go and have a look at Venice while we're here, okay? So, oops, right, there's Venice. Oh, it's like a, that's interesting, it's almost like an island. If I zoom out a little bit. So you've got like the landmass, and then you've got this kind of like a causeway, and then loads and loads of water, and Venice seems to be this little sort of floating island. Absolutely packed. Look at it. Every square millimetre of it has got some building on it. So this is so cool because you actually get to look at the geography of places that you've never even sort of thought about before. So I've always wondered about Venice, but never really took the time to find out. But yeah, look, it looks like just an island. I'm pretty sure Venice will be in 3D. Yeah, I can see it is. It's been rendered in 3D. But here we go, look. Here's your typical Venetian style bridge. Let's land and have a look, shall we? Wow. I'm in Venice. How cool. That is awesome. Oops. Hang on, I've gone out of range of camera again. Man, I've got to stand in the street in Venice. How cool is that? There's river boats everywhere. There's your typical Venetian type style bridges, or canals everywhere. And you've got street view as well, so you can actually wander around. This bridge is looking interesting. There's 1, 2, 3 of them all together. 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them all together. Let's go and stand on them. Wow. This is awesome. I mean, properly awesome. Oh man, I'm walking around Venice. So, oh, there's all these towers everywhere. Like this one looks interesting. So where's this? St Mark's Square. Good grief, that's, how decorated is that? How ornate is that building? That's just unbelievable. Good grief. Yeah. St Mark's Square. Oh well, there we go. So, I'm going to stop recording now because this has probably been going on for goodness knows how long. So there we go, that was Google VR from a 2D perspective. If ever you get a chance to go on Google VR in 3D, I urge you to have a go because it will just blow your mind. It is so good. And you get to, like I say, you get to tour around and visit anywhere you want to go. And for me, like I say, because I don't travel particularly well, when I discovered this was such a... I'm not sure what the word is, but I was just so happy to have discovered it because, well, I mean, you were with me today. I was walking around the streets of Venice. I was walking around Monte Carlo. I was actually seeing the streets and going wherever I wanted to go with my own eyes. What a fantastic thing. I mean, obviously, yeah, the real deal is going to be much better. But if you're having a struggle to travel like I am, this is the next best thing, and my goodness, I am so impressed with it. And I'm almost tempted to save up the pennies to get a machine like this just purely for this one program because it is just so good. But that'll be a long way off because they're not cheap. Because the problem is with the Oculus Rift is you need a really powerful computer to run it. Hence borrowed equipment. So there we go. I hope that was a little bit interesting. Maybe not, I don't know. Do feel free to leave your feedback below and let me know whether you want to see, other videos like this or should never do this ever again. But that's it anyway. So thanks for watching. Have a great rest of the day and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care.